Welcome to my podcast. I'm Summer, I am the host, and I think I'm just going to start this out by introducing myself a little bit. I'm an Australian content creator. I've been doing content creation for about a year now, I want to say. Yeah, I decided to start a podcast, and this podcast has been in the works for a while now. I feel like I'm going to get better at this, the more I do it. Sorry, my plan with this podcast is that I'm going to be posting once a month for it for now, and then we'll see how that goes. And I have a theme. This podcast is going to be about self-growth, self-worth, positivity, I feel like just your own self-journey in self-love, because I feel like in a world where there is so much judgment and so many standards for so many people, and so many young people as well, it's so important that we have those people out there saying hey, it's okay if you don't know what you're doing, it's okay if you don't have a perfect body, if you're this or that, because I feel like there's so many people that say it's not okay and that make you feel shamed. I want to be able to have a safe space where people know that it's okay. You might also see this empty chair here. I will be having guests on the podcast, and my plan with that is that I'm going to have people come on the podcast and talk about their own self-love journey or something related. It'll be correlated to that. I want to keep this podcast basically self-love, positivity, all that kind of vibe. I'm also not scripting this. I honestly don't know if people script their podcasts or script stuff. I know some people script YouTube videos and stuff. I'm completely unscripted. I'm going off no scripts here because I just feel like I want it to be real and organic. Yeah, I don't want to be doing it off a script. So this first episode is just me. Some of the episodes might just be me. Some of them might be with a guest. Well, we're just gonna see where it goes from there though. And today I thought we could answer some questions because I've had quite a few quite different questions about the podcast and just in general, so I thought we would do a little bit of an introduction Q&A with the episode today. And also, if anyone has any questions that they do want me to answer in relation to all this sort of stuff, positivity, self-worth, all that kind of stuff, let me know, ask them, because I will answer them on here. It might seem all over the place now, but I swear it's not gonna be. So I went ahead and I got some questions ready that I'd set up a question thing on the podcast Instagram for people to ask questions, and I've selected some of them that I feel like are in correlation. I've selected some that are in correlation to the podcast, and so we're going to be answering those ones today. So the first question I've got is, what inspired you to create the podcast? This is kind of... it might sound a little bit chaotic to some people. I cannot remember if someone had mentioned it. I feel like a few different people had mentioned, having a podcast. And I think that on top of also just... I feel like I knew in my head it was the right step, and at the time I was going through uni. I was actually doing a bridging course to get into this other course through university, and I was struggling a lot doing that because I think I wasn't enjoying it, but also I don't think it was for me, to be honest. I don't think studying is for, I don't think going to uni for the 8 years that I was going to do was worth it for me, and I didn't want to spend all that money and waste all that time on something I wasn't enjoying and that I wasn't going to use. Around the same time that I decided that uni wasn't for me was when I decided I'm going to do a podcast. I don't think it really mattered the amount of followers I had or because I'm not a super well-known famous person, but I don't think it really mattered to me because that wasn't what it was about. It was more so sort of something in my own self journey that I wanted to do, and I didn't end up having a theme when I first decided I wanted to. I just kind of knew I wanted to, and I'm a person who loves to share things the second I find out. So the second I decided I'm going to do this podcast, I was I'm telling everyone. And I don't regret that. I think I ran into some problems along the way of the podcast because I bought all of this equipment. This is why it took so long, is because I had to, I had set this whole thing up myself. I bought all this equipment, and the studio is going to be moving soon as well. But I set it up all myself. I bought all this stuff, and I thought I was ready. And then these mics, I figured out can't just connect to my camera. They need to connect to a laptop. And the laptop that I was going to use was really old, and I tried editing on it for a YouTube video and it was horrible. So, yeah, I decided I needed to buy a laptop, and so everything was on hold while I was saving for that. I got my laptop though, and here we are filming it. But honestly, part of my social media journey has always been that, like, you know, I want to promote self-love and I want to, like, do good things. I think ever since I've been little, I've always known I've wanted to be in social media. It wasn't really called that at the time, like a content creator or whatever, like it didn't have a term, but I just knew I always wanted to be like on those screens, and I also knew I wanted to do good things. So that's what I'm doing now, and I feel like this podcast is a good step for it. And I think in deciding what I wanted to make it about, and deciding that, you know, I do want to make it about self-love and self-positivity and self-growth, self-journey, all that kind of things, I feel like it just ties in with my thing so well, and I'm happy to have a podcast where I can talk about that, because, like, you know, even if I've only got literally just one listener and they listen and they hear, you know, whatever I might say, and it like changes something for them, or it makes a difference for them, like, I can say I've succeeded. Because I've had people message me before saying, like, you know, my own self-love has helped them, and it is such a heartwarming feeling. It's such a heartwarming feeling, and I would love to spread that around more, and I would love more people to be able to love themselves, because I know personally how it felt for me when I was struggling so much in loving myself. The second that you start loving yourself and you start not feeling as insecure, I still have times where I feel insecure, but the second that it gets better is such a fulfilling feeling. I can wear what I want and I don't feel gross. There's just so many things that I do, and my quality of life is so much better now. Okay, my next question is, what is your next goal after releasing the podcast, like influencer's journey wise? I have a lot of goals. Influencer journey wise, I have so much I want to achieve. The podcast, I plan on, as I said, doing monthly for now, but depending on what people want and my schedule as well, because I'm kind of trialing it as I'm going to see what I can take on. Depending on all that, I could release more episodes, same with my YouTube. My journey, my next goal, I'm currently pursuing modeling, so I've been doing a lot of photo shoots, like for fun photo shoots, except I'm treating them professional, and I've been reaching out to a lot of companies in regards to just working with them on social media, but also with modeling. I think I do definitely want to get into modeling, and I have been trying, but the modeling industry for plus size women at the moment is so bad, because I think there's the whole skinny is in at the moment, and people have also, I've noticed, have been a lot more fat phobic lately. So I'm still persistent, and I still think that I'm going to get a modeling gig and that I'm going to do well in modeling. It's a bit slow at the moment, but I'm not going to give up. But my next goals, one that I'm focusing on influencer wise is modeling, I think, and YouTube, because I've got my channel, but I haven't been able to post because I didn't have a laptop to edit on, but now I've got one, and I'm almost finished editing my first video, or not my first, I think it'll be my third actually. I'm almost finished editing it, and it's a lot better quality than the other ones would have been. My next goal, at the moment that I'm focusing on is YouTube and getting that going well, and my modeling, but I have so many other things I want to do as well. Like, I'm hoping next year, my plan is to move to Brisbane, because I just want to be in the city. I'm also working towards getting a car right now. Things I want to do in the future, like once I'm in Brisbane, I want to learn how to ice skate, how to dance. I want to be able to write a book. I want to be going to like influencer events and stuff. Hopefully my podcast will be taking off well. I have my YouTube vlogs, my social media doing well. My goal, I have this follower goal for my social media. Like, I feel like other people have goals like 1 million or 100,000. My goal for my social media, ever since I was little, because I have been like this has just been a dream of mine since I was little. My goal is 10,000 followers because 10 is my favorite number. And I feel like 10 is also when it stops being all these numbers and it goes from like that to a K. And once you've got the K there, like I feel like that's a milestone. So when I hit 10K, I will feel very fulfilled in my followers and my journey. Those are my next goals. A lot of things I want to do. I want to start my own business as well. I don't know what it'll be yet. I feel like I'm kind of running my own business right now anyway, like my own self-business, like with my content creation and with my modeling, because my modeling is freelance at the moment. I've had a few people reach out to me in regards to it, like photographers, but they never ended up getting back to me. So it's a little slow right now, but I feel like once I'm in the city, I'll have a lot more opportunity for my social media and all that side of things. And I'm manifesting that I'll get famous. So a lot of the time I say when I'm famous, not because I'm trying to be cocky, but because I am manifesting it, and I feel like I just have this dream, and in my head I know I'm gonna be famous. That probably sounds cocky, but in my head, like, I know I'm gonna be famous. I know I've got this. I know I'm gonna do that. I even have like a picture in my head, like years from now when I have my own family and the house I have and I own a house and all this other stuff. Like, I feel like I know houses cost so much money and people are like stressing about. I'm not even stressing about it. I just know I'm gonna own one. Like, I think another goal for my influencer journey is also meeting up and hanging out with more influencers. I've definitely noticed through my journey, I've only met up with one content creator. Through my journey of like just meeting people online and stuff, I've noticed that a lot of content creators, not a lot, but like some of them, completely different to how they are online. Not even that, they're not nice people, and I really want to surround myself with nice people. So I think that'll be really interesting when I start being able to do stuff like that when I'm in the city and I'm hopefully getting more famous or like more followers and getting like moving up in my social media. It'll be really interesting to see the types of people I meet, because there are so many nice people out there. There are so many nice content creators that I've mutuals with, and that they're such lovely people, and they're such kind people as well. So many Australian ones that I know are so nice. There's just like a few that are not. My way of dealing with things is if you're someone like that I'm friends with and I start to notice things that don't align with me, I don't want to be friends with you. And it's because I don't know how to word it. Basically, like, I'm not saying little things that don't align with me. I'm saying like big things. Like, okay, I've had this instance where I'm friends with someone and then I don't realise until later when I start to get to know them, there's these little things about them that all add up and they're not how I view things. And I usually base this a lot of like this off of like inclusion, like people that you can kind of, I don't know the word for this, I don't know how to explain this properly, like has different views to me on a certain subject that I do, and not in a good way, like not something small, like something major. If you know me, you know that I like to be an ally to everywhere that I can. I like to do what's right and, you know, speak up for people that can't. And so if I'm friends with someone and they start showing they're on opposite sides of that, that is a complete deal breaker for me. And I have in instances slowly I've tried to distance myself from the people because I don't want to cause a big scene. I don't want a whole thing to happen. And if they do ask, I just say, you know, like I don't think that we align. That's happened, I think, not that exact thing, but a few different things with content creators. That's kind of how I didn't realize how many different content creators and stuff. Like, some of them are so sweet and so nice, but some of them are literally can't actually believe their views on things. Or I just can't also believe how they are in person, like as an actual person as well. I had this one instance, and I'm not going to get into it because I don't want a whole thing. It kind of like, I feel like it was a good thing because now I want to surround myself with positive people, and I had no idea this person was like this. They basically unadded me. We were like mutuals for a while. They're an Australia influencer, like not a super well-known one, but you know. And they unadded me, I'm pretty sure, because I'm assuming they just got on their high horse and thought they were like just up here or something, because there's like a whole story to it and I'm not going to go into it. I just like the reasoning that they suddenly cut me off, and like I was like really shocked because I thought they were really nice and I was like, oh, they're so sweet, and then literally just cut off. Yeah, so I want to surround myself with good people, with nice people. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Okay, I feel like I keep blabbering a lot after answering these questions, but that's a podcast, so I feel like that's what it's for. Next question is life after high school. Let me tell you, my journey after high school has been great. I feel like during high school, I did not have the best experience towards the end. Or I feel like there was a lot of drama, and I never really felt like, towards the end, I never really felt like I fully fitted in anywhere. There was just a lot of drama everywhere. I felt really bad about myself during high school because certain people made me feel like I wasn't good enough. And I think even during the start of high school, it kind of started there a bit. And that stemmed from like other things outside of high school. I think it started, I remember when I was younger in high school, I did not want to eat in front of a boy because I thought that if I ate in front of them, like it meant I was like gross and like fat. And that's another thing I hate, is the word fat and how it's used as like a negative term. But I thought I was like just gross and like, oh my gosh. And during the end of high school, people made me feel like even worse about my body. And I would hear comments about it as well. And I felt so insecure about my body. It was horrible. The second I got out of high school, it took me a few months of still, wearing clothes that would cover my stomach and still being really insecure about it. But I remember there was one day where I wanted to wear this outfit and I was like worried about my stomach, and then it was literally, I kid you not, like a switch just flipped, and I literally just thought to myself, who cares? It's my body. I'm gonna love it. I'm not gonna keep doing these different diet every single time I feel bad about myself and like working out way too much. I'm not doing it. And it was like a switch had flicked, and every day after that, it was a journey to still love myself. But it just got better and better, and life after high school has been great because of that, because I have learned to love my body as it is. I've been wearing what I want without feeling insecure about it. There's obviously still been ups and downs, but for the most part, it's been great. Like, I've been great. I've been focusing on my social media as well after high school because, again, I didn't want to start it. I wanted to start it, but I didn't want to start it when I was in high school because I knew that people would make fun of me for it and judge me for it. I still get people commenting on my things that I went to school with that are the type of people that I feel like would have made fun of it. But the difference is I don't see them every day, so I don't care. It's been great though. I've worked on myself a lot. And I feel like I've grown a lot through that. I've started doing things that I wanted to do, like social media, loving my body as it is. I didn't go into uni. I am really glad I made that decision not to, because I just feel like it wasn't for me. It's been great. I think I'm on year 2 out of high school now. Hopefully next year I'll be moving to the city and I'll get to see a lot of friends that are up there and just do a lot of things with my social media. It's been going great. I've been really happy and I feel like I've gotten my spark back because I feel like it dimmed a lot towards the end of high school. I've been great, and I think that has been because I've been surrounded by good people. I think that is a big part of it, is during high school I was surrounded by people, not necessarily the people I was friends with, but people that I wasn't friends with that would make comments. Some people I didn't even know. Those type of people that do that, because a lot of high schoolers do, made me feel invalid and horrible. And the second I got out of high school, I wasn't surrounded by those people anymore, having them say this every single time. I still have people in my comments saying like hate comments every now and then, but that's part of social media, and I don't know these people, I don't see them every day, and I've had time to be able to grow and learn to love myself and not care about the comments. So life after high school has been great. I've worked on myself a lot and I feel like I've come very far, and I've got a whole journey ahead of me. The last question I am going to answer is, this one's like not very related to the other questions, but I feel like it does kind of tie in. What are your turn-offs in relationships, or dating, or just people in general? When it comes to dating, I don't have much experience, but I've learned to look out for people's, I'm going to say red flags, not turn-offs. You need to be going somewhere. If I'm talking to someone and they don't have anywhere in life where they want to go, they don't have any plans or anything, no. No. Because that's just a no from me, because I don't want to be someone who has to hold up the fort, like when I'm in a relationship, because this other person doesn't have any goals or plans of what they want to do with their life. Same with if they're someone who will sit on their video game all day, every day, on any spare day that they can, and not do anything else. It's no from me, because if that's all you, if you game, I do not care. I have friends that I sit there and game with sometimes, but it's when you let it take up your whole life and that's all you do. Because there's a whole world out there. There's so many other things you can do. There's a lot of red flags I do have listed. I'm not going to go through them all, but I have a lot listed, sort of mentally in my head, that I know to look out for. Just things like someone's attitude and like how they act. I've learnt, this is something that I care about a lot when I get into a relationship, and that I'm looking out for, is when I get with someone, how they act in an angry situation, when they're upset and they're getting angry and worked up. If they get like physical, not even with me, but like whether they slam their hand down on like a bench, or like, and when it's an argument between us, or they throw something across the room, or they just do something that's giving a violent tendency, I will cut that off before it even begins, because that, I feel like, is a red flag. And if they're doing that, imagine you have a fight 10 times worse than that, or imagine how they'll start to get the more comfortable they get around you. Part of my whole self-love thing is trying to love myself to not be put in a situation where I'm going to be hurt again, because I don't want to be put in that situation. I don't think anyone should be put in that situation. People in general, like my sort of things, will be like, turn away. Gosh, I don't really know if I have like turn-offs for people in general. If you're a really shallow person, I feel like if you're really shallow, you care about really superficial things, like, and you make fun of people for things like that. I've known a few people that have made fun of people for things like their body, like, or they use it like against them, or I don't know, like money. That's a big turn off, like when in making friends wise. I think especially, when this comes into actually effect with content creation and making friends, like through my influencer journey, I do not want to be friends with any influencers or content creators that are really shallow and like think that they're the top type of people just because they have X amount of followers. I do not want to be friends with types of people like that. And I don't want to be friends with people, because I know in some cases people have actually done this. They unfriend, or they cut you off, or they're not friends with you once they get more followers. Like, they'll be friends with you when they don't have a lot, and then they just cut you off after. I do not want to be friends with anyone like that. That answers that question. If you do have any more questions though, let me know. Because I think I'll happily answer them on here. I think that would be great. I did also want to say, I think, talking about when no one asked this, but I kind of just wanted to talk about it. I have been so scared to start up this podcast for the past, like, few weeks. I was, like, really excited at first, and I was working through it and everything, and then the last few weeks, the more that people have asked me about it, the more scared I've gotten, because I feel like so many people that I know are like asking about it, and so I'm scared they're gonna watch it and think that it's shit, or like think that it's bad. But then I thought that, like, literally the second that I figured, like, that I got my laptop and I connected it and it all worked, and I figured, oh my god, I can actually do this. The second I figured that out, I've been so happy and excited to do it, and realized that those opinions don't matter to me. When I first started the podcast, I had someone hating on it before it even begun. And I was like, if you don't think it's going to be good, don't watch it. Don't listen to it. Like, it's really simple. And I honestly, like, I'm just really excited now, and I'm really excited to do these episodes, to take any feedback and suggestions and what you guys think. I was really scared about it and what people would think, but then I thought, you don't have to watch it if you don't like it. And people are gonna talk about you behind your back, whether you want them to or not. Like, it's just, like, it always happens. And I say press is press, good or bad. Like, you want to talk about me behind my back, go ahead. Like, you're talking about me, which means you're spending your time on me. And I'm doing social media, so that means it's technically getting my name out there. So, thank you. This name took, I was like brainstorming a few different names, but I feel like that one kind of stuck with me a bit. I think it's cute. Fun with some, because it's like, you know, fun vibe, loving yourself. And if we do get into topics that aren't as fun, I don't know. I do basically have a goal of this podcast. I don't know if anyone asked that or what that is, but I'm going to say it anyway. What is my goal of the podcast? My goal is just to get out there, I want to have a space where I can talk about my own journey, like self-journey and self-love and just my own journey in general. And talk about all these things because I talk to my friends about it a lot, about all these like things like how, you know, you should love yourself and how annoying it can be when people say things and like just how you shouldn't listen. Like, I want to be able to talk about all that sort of stuff. And I would also love to have I would love for people to be able to come on here and also talk about their own self-love journeys and their own journeys through all of that, and just get their voice out here if they like want to, and if they want to talk. Like, love to be able to get people's own voices out, and I think it's a good step. I think I'm happy with this direction I've taken. I've seen that some podcasts only have a certain amount of seasons, or like they end it because it comes out in episodes. I don't know what I'll be doing with it yet. I think I still have some stuff that, you know, is up in the air and that I gotta go through and look at. I like to include everyone, and let them know when I'm making decisions. So, will I keep this going or just turn it into like a 1 or 2 season thing? I don't know. I want to keep it going, but that depends how it goes. I would love to keep it going and see how far it goes. And if this podcast blows up and does really well, and like years from now it's still going and got like this fancy studio, you can just remember that this is the OG studio, where it's got sheets on the walls to like create a cute little, we've got my frame and my printed out logo and the fairy lights and the chairs and my little flower candles. But yeah, I think that's about it for this episode. If you liked listening to this, if you like listening to this podcast, if you like listening to me yap on about stuff, you should definitely, I don't know how many platforms I'm going to put this on, but whatever the subscribing thing is, or becoming a listener, like, you should definitely tune in. If you've got any suggestions or things that you want to hear me talk about, any questions that you want me to answer, just shoot me a DM and let me know. If I have enough people asking about things for me to talk about or questions, I will set up a little, or I might even set it up anyway, just like a little thing where people can, like a form in the bio of the podcast where people can put things they want to hear me talk about. Or I would love to hear everyone's thoughts and be able to, you know, do stuff that you guys want to hear. But I think that's about it for this episode. I don't know if I've missed anything, but if I have, I can circle back to it in the next episode. Yeah, podcast episodes are going to be coming out. Oh, I haven't said the actual date. They're going to be on the 1st of every month. So, the 1st of every month, a podcast episode. The 1st of every month is when the podcast episodes will come out for now. I'm Summer, your host. If you want to see more of my content, my handle on literally everything is summer.elizabeth, and the summer is spelled AR at the end. And if you want to watch, if you're waiting for an episode and you want to watch more stuff, or you just want to see my personal account, that's where that'll all be. Yeah, thanks for listening or watching, whatever platform you might be on, and I will see you next month with another episode. Love you all, bye!